Welcome all of you risk takers and truth seekers to podcast Live the Battlefield, and thank you for watching this series, Dirty Dozen Top Female Spies. And today we're gonna learn who's the spy who caused the most harm to US. Her name is Ana Montes, and as I've done my research on Ana Montes, I come mesmerized. It was just appalling to see how the intelligence agencies in US didn't notice it. Somebody who spied for 20 years. And you guess for who? No, they are not Russians. Ana Belen Montes, she's a former US military intelligence specialist who was found guilty of spying for Cuba more than 20 years ago. She was freed from a federal prison in Fort Worth, Texas on January 6 this year. FBI apprehended Montes just 10 days after September 11, 2001 terrorist attack on the US and killing thousands of people. Despite the fact that they arrested her, had nothing to do with the terrorist attack, but it was still necessary to safeguard the nation at a time when it was crucial for national security. Let me just add something to you. Every time when some external element or some internal elements causing the harm or causing the damage, death, or list goes on to one country, that country is going to go to major overhaul, of course, because you never know who was from inside aiding people outside. However, in Ana Montes' case, she has nothing to do with September 11 scenario. However, she was a Cuban spy. But she wasn't just a spy. She was one of the most destructive agents in US history. Now, when we talk about agents, she's actually informant. She's not a spy. Spy sounds very romantic, sounds very slick, but she was informant. It comes out that Montes, as a senior analyst at the Defense Intelligence Agencies, DIA, was a spy for the Cubans from within the US intelligence community. If I can give the remark here, once when you have the informant inside some intelligence agency, you treat them as a god, as a messiah. And it's a popular belief that this person has access to every document. No, they're not. I'm just gonna be very brief. When I was working on my portfolio. However, I was having access to the people around me. And of course, occasionally you have the lunch, you have the coffee. At those days, I was smoking and go for drinks after work, and you hearing some stuff. When it comes to reporting, as an Ana Montes case, Ana Montes was not just a source of information, but she was a source of confirming other informations. As I mentioned in my monograph book, Corporate Informant and Whistleblower Management Plan, she was there sometimes actually to confirm informations Cubans already know. Additionally, according to the FBI website, a few days later, the agency was meant to have access to classified information regarding the US anticipated invasion of Afghanistan in following month. Let's dig deeper into the Ana childhood. She's born 1957 in Nuremberg, Germany. Nuremberg was very famous and very well known for two things: rising Nazis to the power and Nuremberg trials after Second World War. Her father was serving in the military over there. He subsequently relocated to Bekes, where she grew up. However, the Montes family is originally from Puerto Rico. Close to the Spanish and Portuguese backgrounds. Ana's father worked in the mental health field and recognized the importance of a loving household, but he frequently spanked the kids. Spanked the kids, of course. My father was spanking me as well. Later, CIA agents claimed that Ana may have become anti-authority as a result of this kind of abuse, which was what caused her to turn against her nation. Do you really believe that somebody, because your father was spanking you, it's turned you against your nation? Well, that's official explanation. Ana as well allegedly disliked all of US international policy. Well, that was adding as another factor. She hung Che Guevara posters in her bedroom. As an adolescent, because she firmly believed in the tenets of the Cuban Revolution. Then, while she was spending a year abroad studying in Spain, she was studying in Spain. Now, this is the very interesting you need to note. She went to study abroad in Spain. She was persuaded by an Argentinian boyfriend that the US military frequently meddled in politics in his country as well of those nations like Nicaragua, El Salvador, and Chile, where he claimed the US had supported a coup by the murderous right-wing Augusto Pinochet. Do you believe that US will ever interfere with other countries? I'll let you to judge this. But how this actually helped Ana to become the spy? I always stipulate in this: you don't become the spy just one day you wake up in the morning and just become the spy. In Ana's case, it's going through from her childhood, and what she developed some type of ideology in her head that they're right ages, but she wasn't able to leave her work, right, and her family, and then she became the more patriotic oriented towards this social revolution. And I always come back to this point. If you have the spy, call them spies, actually informants, who goes by patriotic idea to become the informant or spy, you have the greatest spy asset in your hands. Now, according to FBI, her work in the intelligence field started as a typical recruiting tale. Montes worked as a secretary at the Department of Justice in Washington in 1984. Yes, she started work as a secretary. Ana had access to an almost unlimited series of secrets prepared by who? By American intelligence unit, because obviously the justice and intelligence agencies and law enforcement agencies shared a lot of intelligence work. The DIA senior Cuban analyst, Ana, was renowned for her skill through the US intelligence community. However, few were aware of how skilled she had become in providing Cuban officials with the top secret US military intelligence. Now, as you know, the US had a very unsuccessful invasion with the paramilitary troops in the Bay of Pigs, and Americans never understood what's happening. So like Ana was not only one person, obviously, who was spying for the Cubans. So if you put the Cuba, everybody sees as a beautiful, clean country, ecologically aware. There's no big industries. There's nothing. They're stuck in time in the 50s and 60s. But yet they had a top-notch spy working for them in the heart of the US intelligence services. She frequently voiced her opposition to the US government approach to Central America. Now, this is the point when you're becoming point of interest, not target. Point of interest when your peer says like, why are you saying these things? Soon, Cuban officials become interested in her viewpoint because they believed she would support their cause. She allegedly conferred with them once and decided to assist Cuba shortly after. You never see your case officer so-called once and then you decide, I'm gonna spy for your country. It doesn't work that way. But okay, that's officially being stated in her biography. She applied to the Defense Intelligence Agency, a crucial business that generated intelligence for the Pentagon, because she was aware that she acquired a job in the intelligence community. She was a highly recruited spy by the time she began working there in 1985. Ana avoided carrying any paper or electronics, work documents in order to prevent being caught. Instead, she mentally wrote down the information before typing it up on her MacBook at home. Pay the note and attention to this. Ana, she will mentally wrote down information before typing up on her MacBook at home. You can protect information. You can put the passwords, firewalls, but what you can't prevent still, in this DNA age, in 2023, it is brain. Because person who is working with highly classified documents is gonna carry home information, store it in their head, and they remember, and then she come home and she taps at her home. And a very clever Ana she was, because she didn't carry any documents. So, but does this bring suspicious or not? You decide. Then what she will do, she moved the data to disks that were encrypted. In 1980s, computers was new, and obviously encryption wasn't so powerful, but at that stage, in that DNA age, it was. She would meet with her supervisor and hand over the disk after getting coded instructions over shortwave radio from the Cubans. Shortwave radio, according to the FBI website. Through her career, people have taken note of her opinions on US foreign policy, as I mentioned earlier. Security officials were aware of her views on foreign policy during her time at the Department of Intelligence Agency, Defense Intelligence Agency, and worried about her access to confidential information, but they had no cause to suspect. She was compromised, even passing the detector test. Because, think about this way, working for the Defense Intelligence Agency, and you got to go through all these tests. I know, I've been there. You don't just walk at the work and it's like, I'm afraid, because you know when they're testing you, they're going to ask you some series of questions, which is related to your work and what you do and how you do and everything else. And they're looking, your perspiration, your blood pressure, your heartbeat. And of course, in today's age, there's other elements adding to the polygraphy test. But of course, she has no reason to lie. I don't carry the documents home. I have access. Yes, I do. I don't type in nothing. I don't bring the disks home. But what was bringing her down was continuously being person who had high opinion. I'm working for the Defense Intelligence Agency, but we don't agree with foreign policy. Now, after shooting down 2 humanitarian aircraft that had flown into airspace into 1996, the Cuban Air Force, it started to deteriorate. The Cuban aviator was heard boasting over the radio, "We blow his balls off." Now, President Bill Clinton was publicly outraged after 3 Americans were murdered. According to the book, Ana vanished from the office the following day after getting an upsetting personal phone call. You see how things escalated quite quickly. Then, relying on a hunch, a cunning Defense Intelligence Agency colleague named Reg Brown, a counterintelligence analyst for Latin America, informed a security officer that he thought Montes might be influenced by Cuban intelligence. Might be influenced. Not that she worked him. Of course, she was questioned by the officials, but she made no admissions. To make things worse, Ana's close family unintentionally turned against her. Yeah, she wasn't expecting this one. Her sister Lucy worked for the FBI Miami field office, a task force that was hunting down Cuban spies from South Florida, while her brother Tito and his wife joined the FBI Atlanta office. So the entire family has been working for the government. Additionally, there is a mole sitting in an unknown intelligence agency in Washington, according to her sister Jobs in Florida. Now, this has become very interesting. The Cubans were known to have paid off the double agent $2,000 student loan and possessed a specific model of Toshiba computer. And he visited Guantanamo Bay in the summer of 1996. Ana was surrounded. The FBI was able to compile evidence against Montes through physical, electronic, and covert investigations. I want you to understand that sometimes you can become the person of interest, not a target yet, person of interest. And they will do counterintelligence investigations and counterintelligence operations against that person that they don't know. They may collect something, may not. In Ana's case, it was paid off. Her arrest was postponed for a while because agent also wanted to identify her Cuban handler, and were waiting a face-to-face encounter between the two. However, external force took control of the investigation because Montes was going to be given a job as on US warplanes after 9/11 attacks. She was taken in custody because the Bureau and the Defense Intelligence Agency didn't want that to occur. Imagine that, to work on a warplanes but she's a spy for Cubans. Lucky the FBI and DIA didn't want that to occur. Now, what motivated Ana to spy? As I said at the beginning, if you want to have the perfect spy, ideology and patriotism, as I explained in my books here. You can go on my website www.mariobekes.com.au if you like it. Order some, feel free. She merely disagreed with American foreign policy. Most intriguingly, Montes did not even receive payment for disclosing classified information. Instead, only costs were reimbursed. Furthermore, Montes displayed no remorse for the life she had led following her arrest, claiming that espionage always hurts someone. Montes acknowledged disclosing the names of the 4 U.S. secret intelligence agents working in Cuba. So she identified 4 Cubans, U.S. intelligence agents working in Cuba. She pleaded guilty in 2002, and as a result, she received 25 years in jail. She spent only 21 years under good governance and was freed on January 6th of this year. Question for you it is, what do you think? How the Ana and what Ana she sent to the Cubans, how she operated, and why her counterpart was never arrested? Welcome to the world of espionage. Thank you for watching Dirty Dozen Top Female Spies. Feel free to subscribe, share, like, and comment. Thank you for watching.